off. Today is day 195 of the year of streaming and learning to code. We are continuing on here at... what are we going to do? Are we going to do a CADA or are we going to tackle... Let's go ahead. You know what? I was thinking of doing another CADA here at Code Wars for day 195 because yesterday we were doing freeCodeCamp. We ended up deciding, little kitty, what are you doing? What are you doing? Look at this. This is a little cat. How about you? What if you were to hang out over here, tiny cat? There's a whole bed for you to explore. If you would be so kind to just shimmy, like, what is that, 2.5 feet over to the bed? No, stop scratching your face on the mic. Just try not to knock over the webcam. Can you at least do that much? I know that's kind of a large request for you since you love knocking over the webcam, but I think that's a fair trade. No, just assume the napping position. We're trying to decide if we're going to do a CADA here at Code Wars or if we're going to do a project here at freeCodeCamp. But we really can't kind of piece that together. Oh my god, look at you. You're so furry. Alright. Tiny cat, what do you want to do? Do you want to do a CADA here at Code Wars, or do you want to do a project at freeCodeCamp? Yeah, freeCodeCamp? Okay, good. Well, she moved when we decided to do freeCodeCamp, so I'm going to take that as a yes. Your tail. Just turn, and be happy. Assume the napping position. Face us. There is fur everywhere. Dear God. Oh, okay. We're going to set CADAs to the side. We're going to leave Code Wars off the menu. And we are going to continue onwards with a project here at freeCodeCamp. This is the one... No, not this one. Building a tribute page. Yes, there we go. So we don't have sound set up to go out for the video, but in general, it's something about setting up a basic text page with a photo, like a link or two. This is the general idea, kind of bouncing around, things like that. Nothing too crazy, but we get to do exactly that. So, good times. Let's go ahead and set that up. We can reference the video whenever needed. We can dive over to CodePen to begin our journey. Alright, so building a tribute page. We've got 7 things on our to-do list to be able to complete this challenge. 1. Objective. CodePen app that is functionally similar to this. What is this, you ask? What a great question. Ta-da! This is their example from the video, but the actual page. So, Dr. Norman Borlaug, one of those. They've got photo, some fun facts, a quote, a link. Quite effective. A decent tribute page. Very cool. So, we've got an idea of what we need to do. So that's 1. Similar to this. Cool. 2. Below, fulfill the below user stories. What the deuce is the user stories? Use whichever libraries you need. Give it your own personal style. User story. In software development and project management, a user story is an informal, natural language description of one or more features of a software system. User stories are often written from the perspective of an end user or a user of a system. They're often recorded on index cards, on post-it notes, or in project management software. Depending on the project, user stories may be written on various stakeholders, including clients, users, managers, or development team members. User stories are a type of boundary object. Boundary object? They facilitate sense-making and communication. That is, they help software teams organize their understanding of the system and its context. User stories are often confused with system requirements. A requirement is a formal description of need. A user story is an informal description of a feature. Okay, so boundary objects. This is exactly just like a regular dictionary where you're looking up a word in a dictionary because you don't know what its definition is, and they use a word or multiple words in that description that you don't know, and then you have to look up other words in the dictionary. Are people looking up do school children use dictionaries anymore? Was I part of the last generation that had, like, a physical dictionary to look through? Are all elementary humans just Googling everything now? Wikipedia? Probably. I mean, we're on Wikipedia now, so it would make sense that that's where they're going. Alright, let's see. Boundary stuff. Sociology, a boundary object is information such as a specimen, field notes, maps, and so forth. Basically, side note, also user story, it sounds like the context of when we set up the info in our lovely tribute page. It just needs to be in the proper tense and perspective so that the user can read it without being confused, if that makes any sense at all. But that's how a person would write a book or any story, so I don't know why that really needs to be stated. It seems more software termy, but I'm not sure why. Anywho, boundary object stuff interpreted differently, something immutable content, maintain integrity, blah, blah, blah. 1989. Yeah, not interesting. Requirements. Why are we looking up requirements? This is painful. We're just gonna, let's build this, right? Yeah. Go time. Go time. Let's destroy all of those. We've got their CodePen for reference. We've got our CodePen. Create new pen. You know, and I'm curious, do we need to, every time in there, see this, what a perfect place to be stopped on in the video. See, they always go into the, I say they always, this is like the first or second project, but in each of the examples before, they've referenced going into the settings. Maybe this is why they have the template option, but do I need to go into settings at CodePen every single time to upload? I do. Bootstrap. Oh god, the Bootstrap 3.4 scenario. I think it's 4. We're going to go with Bootstrap 4. That's what we chose last time. In their video, here, all they have is Bootstrap. Generic 1. Clearly this video was made previously, but that's how all content is created. Good. So, what are we doing? We were looking at their CodePen. We're going to be setting up our tribute page. Fulfill the user story below. Give it your own library. User story. I can view a tribute page with an image and text. Oh, I get it now. The development term. This is like storyboarding. Okay. Gotcha. We went through user stories. Didn't quite get it. Development need. This is the user story. What are we creating and what's the perspective? Who's using it? This is what we're creating. The tribute page, but I, as the user, will be able to view the tribute page that possesses an image and text. And as a user, I will be able to click on a link that will take me to an external website with further information on the topic. That makes so much more sense. They didn't need to link us outside of the site. They could have just, for a site that does assume a lot of the knowledge, I'm surprised they spent the time to put the link here to go to Wikipedia when their example is so clear and straightforward. Like right here on 3 and 4. Good to know. Hey, Topher! How are you doing? How's, oh god, what's today? Is it still Friday? No, it's no longer Friday, July 14th. It is now Saturday, July 15th, 11 minutes into that, but hopefully you had a bitchin' Friday, and hopefully your first 11 minutes of Saturday have been equally awesome. Oh, also, side note, speaking of awesome, I do have the photo, and it's not going to come across pretty or do it justice at all. But I downloaded finally the update to the game with the triangle. Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild. There we go. So I updated it with the new DLC, and 1, it had way more content than I realized, but 2, I was looking forward to the hero's path or journey, whatever they called it. This is the normal map. Let me jump over to OBS. This is tons of fun. So I doubt that many people were excited about the hero's path, the ability to see where he had gone over the last 200 hours. And since I have 250 hours of gameplay, mine's full, and it's great. So I didn't realize, I thought it was going to be just a static image, but anywho, here's my current map. That is kinda super glary. There we go. There's that. Versus... So that's normal without the hero's journey, and then with... Boom! Do we see that mess? Normal? Right. 200 hours of running around. That's what my life looked like. How great is that? It's just a mess of me going everywhere across the map. Anyways, the point is that you can also fast forward the hero's path for anyone who hasn't done it. And you can see, so I can go all the way basically back to the beginning, and it shows, what is it? Death. You know what? It just dawned on me. I was reading... I read the description for the DLC. I thought it said, and maybe it is worded this way, that it records the last 200 hours, but I know I've played 250 hours. No? Bastards. Anyways, I'm trying to figure it out. But when I go, you can scroll through it. You can scrub through the hero's path, or however much time it's captured your path. And it shows, I believe, me at the beginning of the game. Because it starts there in the Great Plateau, and me dying and falling off cliffs, but it shows all the times you die, all the times you warp, and then where you go throughout the whole map, and it looks exactly like this, which is crazy. But, anywho, point is, I died a lot in the beginning, and it makes the death sound, like the yell when you fall off a cliff or die. Anyways, it's fascinating. Topher, my Friday sucked, then I got drunk. Saturday has been good so far, though. That's awesome. Good times. Sucky Fridays blow. Not in the good way. Topher, I got the DLC also. Awesome. Awesome. Well, tons of fun. Let's try to refocus my tangent of DLC nonsense back to coding this thing. We need to birth a tribute page. Can't say it's going to be as pretty as this, but it'll work. I can at least promise it will have an image with text, and there will be a functional link to somewhere else. Remember to use read, search, ask if you get stuck. When you are finished, click the I've completed this challenge button and include your link to your CodePen. You can give feedback on your project by sharing it with your friends on Facebook. You can get feedback by sharing your project. Good, good, good. All right, let's do this. So, Bootstrap 4. Why did I do something? I did do something weird. Let's clear this one. Because we added it. Look, we'll clear that out too. We'll add Bootstrap 4, and it spits it into the first one. Ta-da! Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. And we're saving. And we're saving. Should we also do the thing with the auto run? Right, they had, it was behavior. They had auto update enable. I don't know if I should turn that off. They were saying turn it off for API calls. I think it'll be okay if we leave it on for this. It'll be fine. I don't think we're going to have any intense JavaScript thing. All the previous stuff here at freeCodeCamp has been HTML and CSS, so let's do this. So we need a title. One tribute page. Okay. Let's do this. Dang yin. That's what we're doing. D dum dum dum. Dee 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 dee. Sir Sean Plot. Yeah, that's where we're at. Let's go ahead and do an H1. We're gonna do our tribute. To Sir Admiral Sean Plot. We should do we use all the headings? I don't think we need to use all the headings, but I kind of want, I feel like we're going to end up stacking our way through them. H1, and then H2, and then H3, blah, 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 you know? And then, like, 4, and 5. I think we could go through all of them. That's probably not necessary. We don't need to worry about that. We will exchange headings we will implement headings as necessary, as needed. Day 9. Deep, deep, deep. What is that? Dum, dum, dum. Deep, 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 deep. Okay. There's this. Oh, we should do... I was about to style stuff in there, but we're not going to do that. We are not going to do that. Let's go ahead and do H1. Do we need to do anything clever here? I don't think we need to. We can just throw stuff in. Is it style for center? That's not right. That feels wrong. Center. No. Oh, it was a line. You crazy, forgetful son of a... That's also not how you spell a line. That's not how you spell align either. Everything hurts after midnight. And CSS aligning text. It should be, in my mind, oh, it's text align. God, you forgetful son of a... Thank God they have very few requirements for this page. An image and text, and not much else. Text align, center. Text align. There we go. Cool, cool. Okay. And I was kind of... No, we don't. I like the idea of Bootstrap and the ability that we can just do, like, text primary, and it'll turn it blue. I think that's extremely awesome. Did we even need to do anything else? Text primary. We're not going to have... There was something else. I think it was in quotes. Was it class or style? Not important. But some of the features for Bootstrap were cool, like the text primary and the text information or danger. There were some neat features that we went over a couple days ago through the responsive design stuff with Bootstrap, and it was kind of handy. I don't actually think we're going to need any of those for styling. But just voicing thoughts and concerns from the past day. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's just set up the basics. So image and text. We do have a title, but let's just do image and text. Basic tags. Image, self-closing. Image. We'll add in all the link stuff later. Text. We've got a text field, which would be paragraph. There's that. We have our skeleton of the first part of the user story. There's that. And then also a link that will take me to an external website for further information. And all we will need is an anchor tag, which we can lodge somewhere in one of the paragraphs or just have it floating around by itself. There's nothing wrong with free-range links. You know, I'm sure people prefer free-range links compared to caged. Force-fed caged links with all the hormones injected into them. For those listening, we're not talking about links. Ahref. Oh, you know what? Let's piece together our nightmare from above, shall we? I think we shall. So, image. What image should we pick? Well, there's a couple places. We've got Day 9 TV. We've got Day 9 for YouTube. I guess we could grab a screenshot, an image. You know what? Let's see what images they have. And then there's also the outstanding fan page of Narwhals Ate My Sister on YouTube, which is probably the greatest YouTube channel ever. Okay, so we've got a smattering of things that we can pull from. We've got you. Image things. The bedroom stuff. Those would be good. That would be spectacular. You know what? We should have a shot of Manfred. That would be great. Are there any good shots of him and Manfred? I don't think there is. Well, we probably need to do type in Manfred. There is that one. That would probably be the most respectful photo, but... There needs to be... schedule, Discord forums, blah, 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 subreddit. Yeah. Is there anything great? Ta-da! Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. Shannon. She's responsible for all of this. All of this being the Narwhals Ate My Sister channel. And now she's heading the highlights on Day 9's official YouTube page, which is super cool. But we need to find a good screen grab. Good screen grab. Let's do... What's a good one? Any recommendations? We'll find one. More importantly, let's do setting up the image. Setting up the image. We'll just pick one at random. Why am I drawing a blank? There's a source equals blah. And then there's also alt for alternate text. God, I think. I guess we should also check the Twitch page as well. I think that would probably be good. Wow, are we really? That's gonna just slow down the internet if that video's playing endlessly in the background. Okay. Okay, we're good. We are... Things are loading. There's no... things that are truly beneficial from there. Alright, well, this is going to be a very basic tribute page. Paragraph B, a better gamer. Ta-da, B-D-D-D-D-D. Paragraph, we don't need this. Paragraph, hello. Alright. And we're going. Text align again. Center. We're going to steal you. And we're pasting. And you know what? We already know that our anchor is going to be the same song and dance. Copy. So we're just going to prep it with an A. They said to do... There was one thing that they did mention in their video. It was a CodePen specific thing for their editor and how it processes things. Or maybe it was their results window, whatever you want to call it. Also, let's change the view. Let's move this over to the thing. To the left side. That makes me feel better. Yes. Good. God, what were they saying? It was like text blank or underscore text blank. You'd attach it at the end. The issue was not here. D. The issue... right there. You see it in the HTML window within the screenshot. Target. After href, target underscore blank. That opens the link in a new tab here in the CodePen environment. Obviously, it would work elsewhere, but it's needed here in the CodePen environment. So be warned. You've been warned. I've been warned. Heed the advice at your own risk. What site would we want to take him to? Day 9. We could take him to the Twitch page, but I feel like the YouTube page is far more effective. I'd really like to send them to the Narwhals Ate My Sister page. Because everything on this channel is gold. Yeah, we should link it. We should link it to the Daywise Advice playlist. That's what we're gonna do. Because that's what it's all about. Yeah. Daywise Advice or popular uploads? That's a toughie. Let's do popular uploads. That'll be a better fit. It's dynamic. It covers all the good stuff. Popular uploads. I know we should be referencing the official highlight playlist for the Day 9 channel, which would be found right... Oh god, where is it? Highlight. Day 9 highlights, yeah. We should be referencing that link, but... in all fairness, the Narwhals fan channel was here before that, and this is more OG, if you will, for use of an awful term. But yeah, we're gonna go with this. Copy. Because why tell someone about it when you can show them? Huh? Exactly. However, text things. What do we want it to say? We want it to say something about something. Day 9. Something or other. I thought it would have aligned it center. Did we do something wrong? Can you not have an anchor element align as text? Maybe it doesn't like what we're doing because it's a Saturday? That's a terrible reason. It's something I did. You know what the other thing is? Is I could also easily do paragraph and align and all that and like totally simplify all of this. There's really no need unless I break it all down. If I were a link and I wanted to be centered, what would I do? H1, H3. Style. Align, right? That doesn't seem right. Href, blah, blah, blah. Is it the target that's throwing it off? Maybe the target won't let it move. How'd they get theirs centered? Oh, it's in the paragraph. It's in the paragraph. See, they don't just have Wikipedia link floating about aimlessly. You know what we could do? is set up a new paragraph around it. Yes, look at this. See, we figured it out. Another paragraph. Huh? Yeah, didn't see that coming. 2 paragraphs. No, yes, better. There we go. There we go. Fantastic. Good, good. What else would we want to do? What happens if we make it something more glorious, like an H4? Should we go with an H4? I don't think so. I think we can get rid of all this nonsense. And I realized we wouldn't comment out here. I mean, I think it's possible to, but no. How the deuce would one in CS... How does one comment out in CSS again? Why are we always forgetting things? This is for HTML. Death. 3? Nope. I don't recall what was needed to comment stuff out in CSS, but now that we've got everything up there, all in one line, ta-da, we don't need to worry about that. So, I don't know if we should make it all the same, like this, more text, photo, and so forth and such and such. We are merely going to keep it basic. Source. Image for the source. Dum dum. Dum dum. Dum 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 dum. Dum. Some of these are ridiculous. Where is day 9 and Manfred? Who's Manfred, right? Yeah, we spelled Manfred right. This is I wish we need a screenshot of when they made the sweater for Manfred, but it was too small. and it's like one of those ski masks one would wear during a bank robbery, or if they were taking hostages. But we aren't gonna go digging for that. It was this one. That's perfect. That's perfect. That's exactly what we need. Oh my god. Okay, so open link in new tab, or I guess copy image address. Let's do open link in new tab, and we will copy image address. Let's see what we get. Oh yeah, imager. That's way better. So let's go back to this source. Oh no, it doesn't like... Why doesn't it like the PNG file? Did I do something wrong? I must have messed something up. Let's look for... Copy. Maybe... Why does it not like... our link. Is it the PNG file? Image. HTML image. I think it's just HTML in source. Yeah, image. DN. That's all that's needed. Image source, smiley, blah, 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 blah. Topher needs to be HTTPS. Oh, wait. Maybe. It's HTTP. Oh, not. Okay, that was the website link. Damn it, I can't just shimmy an S in there because I feel like it. That's not gonna fly. So let's just try the other link, the Google image of it. No, that's not how it works. What would one do if I was visit page, maybe? That doesn't seem like a good plan at all either. Dee 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 dee. La da da dee 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 dee. So, well, we may end up just having to go with a different image. Maybe that very well could be our issue. Smart GIF. Browser supports ink. Whiteboard, blah, blah, blah. Differences between blank and blank. Yeah, it's not supporting HTML. No. Okay, it's me. That's all. We'll just have to move on and go with a different image. That's what we're left with. That's okay. That's okay. D. Open link in new tab. Copy image address. Starcraft. That's gonna suck up all the internet. Let's go ahead. All of our bandwidth. There. See? Proper terminology. Meh. Sucking all the fun out of it. JPEG? There we go. Manfred in all his glory. Too bad we can't use the other one. The other one's flawless. C'est la vie, right? Alternate text. Mr. Plot. And Manny. Ta-da. Okay. Be a better gamer. Good. What else? I know that this is probably like the bare minimum of what's needed, and that's fine by me, but in a perfect world, one needs build a CodePen app that's functionally similar to this. Fulfill the user stories, which they only have 2 user stories, this guy and this guy. Remember to use read, search, blah. When you're finished, click I've completed. Get feedback by posting it. We'll deal with that later. Cool. So, tribute page with an image and text. In theirs, I would like to note, leave out this bit. Is that a thing? Do I need to worry about that? I don't think they're talking about an image with, like, a caption. I think they're just talking about an image in general with text on the page. pretty sure it's scenario 2 that they're looking for. Followed by a link that I can click on that will take me to an external website with further information on the topic, which this link, oh god, why things are, do we see that? Is that capturing it? It is. My computer is confused. We can see the windowiness is frustrated. There's a lot going on here. There's a lot going on. There we go. Beautiful. When in Rome, we can close out of this. Close out of that. And this. And that. And we can close. We wanted to test the link. Let's test the link. Apparently, the underscore blank, it does open it in a new page. How cool is that? Cool. So, videos. Now, we wanted the playlist day-wise advice. Oh, that was popular uploads. Okay. So, popular uploads isn't necessarily a playlist. It is a stack of videos sorted by most popular. We can live with that. We can live with that. Okay, so that works. It brings us here, gets the job done. So we can close out of this, out of the YouTube page. We'll check about. Make sure thoughtful gaming strategy. Yes. 13-year StarCraft veteran. 90-minute show, every blah, blah, blah. And good times. We can bring that. We can add that. There's nothing wrong with this. Wikipedia. That's what we were going to check. We were going to check Wikipedia for day 9. And see what the community has to offer. And we will check about here. Friendly local day 9 fan channel. Making these highlights. Good. Posted here at the official day 9 page. Twitch chat. Good. Great. Beautiful. Wikipedia. D. I don't think I've ever... God, I haven't gone to Wikipedia, typed it in like that in ages. It's got to be close to like 7 years. I don't Wikipedia things, ever. I'm linked to Wikipedia frequently, researching things, but I just... No one's stopping by, hey, let's check out Wikipedia this morning. What am I looking for? Day 9. Yes. Flawless. D. Is it wrong to just copy all of that? I learned something new today. His middle name is Saint Michael. Huh. The more you know. Let's go ahead and copy that. Is there a way to embed a paragraph? I'm sure there is. There's got to be a way to, so I don't actually have to take the text. You know what? I bet you it's, if I were to open like the page source in view, I bet there's a way to like reference the specific div and the text and have it pull that info and dump it into our web page. Considering that I have no idea how to do any of that, we're not going to, but one can dream. So that's, in the end, I would like to have that ability as a programmer. I'm not there yet. And that's fine by me. But just throwing that out there. In a perfect world, when I dream, that's what I'm thinking about. Let's do another paragraph after Be a Better Gamer, which we will probably make. We're going to move that above. We're going to do some reshuffling here. We are basically done. We could say it's complete, but we're not going to just yet. Paragraph. All of that goodness. Cool. Now, from here, and we'll clean that up a bit more as well. Yard. What would I do if I were a newbie programmer and I was trying to move this? We would cut that, dump it up here, change it to, do we want H2 or H3? Oh my god, it changed it together. Did we all witness the glory of that? I changed the first one to from paragraph, and it did it again. Oh my god, I should not be this excited about it. Look at that. It's changing it over here. I don't even have to touch it. Look at, we're just gonna change it through a bunch of them. How cool is this? Okay, contain yourself, Steven. Contain yourself. H2, not PH2. We're making elements H2. And what are we gonna do? Let's just go ahead and add. Let's change it to 3. We're gauging sizing. Probably 3. That's a bit better. But 4? Too small. Doesn't stand out enough. 4 is too subdued, if you will. 5, we're definitely reaching the end of its potential. And 6, yeah, that's just, 6 is really just bloated text. That's not really impressive at all. What happens if we do 7? I know there's no 7, but we're learning to walk here. Is it just regular text? It does drop down in size, but what about 8? Does it keep changing? No, it doesn't know what to do with it. So it just goes to regular text. We're going to go with 3. And we will add an H3 to our pile of things that should be centered. As well as Be a Better Gamer. Good, good, good. Mr. 9. Instead of a paragraph, I actually, bless you, what are we going to do? We are going to take our paragraph and actually change it to an ordered list, I think. Bless you again. Let's change it to unordered list. UL. Oh my god, and it changes it here too. This is the greatest thing ever. Not quite ever, but yeah, good, good. That's so awesome that it works though. Here, let's also enjoy that. Let's go from ordered list to unordered list. Ew, I know we need to break up all this stuff, but just the fact that the tags change. Third, bless you. God, that is just so cool. I wonder what, is that JavaScript that's changing it? It's got to be JavaScript that's telling it to change. You know what? We were wondering about that yesterday. Perhaps someone can address what is causing it. So when we do the proportions of the boxes, corrupt file 105. Hello. Hello to you. Good sir, madam, or robot, whatever you prefer. Yes, yeah, hopefully, how's life going for you? Good, we hope. And if not, hopefully, it gets better very, very soon. Anywho, what were we focusing on? We were addressing, it was a concern or a question we had yesterday. We can adjust the size of the windows And that's great and all. Look at this, cool. Let's do tiny HTML, giant CSS, and about 50-ish%. And when we change the view from left side to up top, it maintains the proportions. See, it's still, let's get rid of settings. Oh god, what are we doing? See, it's still small HTML window, small JavaScript, giant CSS, and 50% of the way through the screen. And when this changes again, look at that, it still maintains the proportions. Is that... I think it's a combination of JavaScript and CSS that's maintaining the proportions when we change it. Because I don't think that's HTML that's tied to that. Because CSS would be the styling of the box and the width, but I know you can tell like the margin size, but like the actual changing, the action of it, I feel like the action of it changing is JavaScript, but I'm not sure. Alright, sir will work. Taking a break from self-teaching as well. What are you trying to figure out? Oh, no. Everything's going swimmingly in general. Right now, I'm working on one of the first projects here at freeCodeCamp. It's building a tribute page, very basic. All we need is an image and some text, and a link that will take to an external website for some more info. Their example was Dr. Norman Borlaug. They've got her photo, nice little blurb, lots of info, text about him, fun quote, and a link to the Wikipedia page for some more fun stuff about said doctor. For my tribute page, let me change the view to something a little less hilarious. There we go. That's far more normal. CSS. We can leave JavaScript kind of meaningless. And there we go. We have chosen Sir Day 9, Mr. Sean Plott. So we've got just a general thing. We're going to do a bit of styling in a moment. We were just kind of structurally doing some basic stuff. What is this? Why is there a listing Sean to the right? Oh, it's because we changed the thing halfway through. We were going to do an unordered list. There we go. That's better. So, yes, we were going through just mixing things around, but I was curious because it reminded me as I was moving things yesterday. No, it wasn't yesterday. It was 2 days ago. Actually 3. When I moved the sections, I was interested. I keep finding cool features here at CodePen's site on things like this. How when I change the H3 over here to paragraph, it changes on both sides. They've got all these cool little features here at CodePen, and I'm just wondering what language they did to program the code editor that makes it behave that way. And so this was the second one that I stumbled across today. The cool feature that stood out to me 2 or 3 days ago, it was the ability to adjust the sizes of the windows and that it maintains those proportions regardless of what view you have it in. Proportionally, it stays. So I thought that was also pretty cool, and I was wondering what language. My guess was maybe CSS, but probably JavaScript. But I figured it was probably both of those two in tandem. But yeah, good times. So anyways, that's all, just a minor tangent. Now I'm going to be breaking this unordered list, which we got from Wikipedia, into a slightly more digestible list form, bullet point list form. But good times. External link to live site or to internal.html file. I probably should. I thought about embedding like a video, but I am trying to maintain their requests, because they do say I'd want to do like a live feed, but they say image. I should and probably, I know I could do both and probably should, but I think we'll just keep it sort of basic since it is one of like the first or one or two things for their projects. So that's all. But yeah, good times. All right. What are we looking at? External live link. My guess is JavaScript for sure. Built-in IDE fluid with output window must be JavaScript. That is pretty nice, right? Kind of cool. So let's get listy, right? Let's do that. How many do we count through? Of course, I've got my stupid freaking webcam blocking. It starts blocking the text like right here. I've got my webcam on like a little tripod thing, because that's how my setup is, and death. But yeah, so let's flip it so I can see what the hell I'm looking at. There we go. That's so much better. Although now I can't see the code. This is my nightmare. All right. How many sentences? We should have 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. 5 list items. 5. The count, you know, Sesame Street. That's okay. Not important. Listing. We're listing. Let's do this. Entering. God, how do we want to do that? Let's go ahead. List 1 and 2. And we'll just copy the 5. 1 and 2 and 3. That's 4 and 5. Fan-frickin-tastic. We will take this. We are on the hunt for a period. There we go. Look at that. Oh, we missed it. Son of a bitch. Stupid trackpad. It's been dying for like 2 years. That's 1. Oh, we copied it. I was like, why is it still here? We'll cut. We will cut. Command X for Mac users. Control X for Windows, PC, whatever you prefer. D. And we're cutting. And we're cutting. And we're pasting. Fantastic. What's going down? Pretty nice. Are you grouping your headers, paragraphs, and anchors into one styling tag? Oh, not all. Yes and no. Only because initially that was just a generic structural thing. I wanted to make sure everything was centered, and I had 4 of them, all with text align. It was copy 1, 2, 3. Like, it was this, and it was paragraph and blah blah blah, you know, all that noise. So I just realized, hey, I can group them all together in the text align for now. I will need to expand upon and so forth and such, but it was an initial time saving thing. So grouping, or is that how the template was set for you? No, we covered that. What language do you primarily write in? Currently, I'm trying to find exactly that issue. I don't know what language I obviously HTML and CSS, but if I had to pick one, probably JavaScript. That's the one that I've been working towards most recently as far as focusing on a language. I went through... God, where is it? I went through the labyrinth that is Code Academy, in its full glory, which they did update their Ruby course. They've finally started to do their summer updates that they were talking about, but we knocked out all kinds of fun. We knocked out all the free content that they had here at Code Academy. So that was an interesting path. That was like the first 150-ish days, so all the courses are now grayed out. But yeah, we dabbled in Python and jQuery and React and Angular, just to get a feel for anything and everything, SQL, PHP, and then from there we ended up at Code Wars, where we were able to focus. Because Code Academy, even though they covered all of those languages, they kind of just scratched the surface. It was still good. I'm glad I did. If I were to do it again, I still think I would actually go through Code Academy, because I was able to see all the similarities and differences amongst all those different languages and how they could function together and how they couldn't as I went from language to language. I think it was good perspective to gain in the long run. Here at Code Wars, though, it's been far more focused for the katas that I've been doing. Actually, let me go to the profile. From their activities, you can see, if we go back, they offer a smattering of all kinds of challenges, all kinds of different languages that one could use to solve the activity. For all the activities I've done, though, I've only been doing JavaScript. So that really helped after Code Academy. Gave me a good reason to just sort of focus on a single language. We were doing that for a while, but then we decided, hey, let's check out freeCodeCamp, and it too has been interesting, but the very beginning is a lot of just HTML and CSS. So once we knock out the front-end projects, these basic ones, they're going to start adding in JavaScript again, and I'm going to start bouncing between freeCodeCamp and Code Wars daily, which is what I wanted to do, because the katas, the lessons, the activities or challenges here at Code Wars are awesome. They're really fun. Some of them are quicker. A lot of them are short, but because I'm still learning, I definitely struggle with them. But yeah, it's good times. So anywho, the thing is, though, is that freeCodeCamp uses CodePen for some of their projects. They do have a built-in editor like this at freeCodeCamp for a lot of the basic lessons. Like all this stuff, when you open the thing, the editor's on the left side, and then the results window over here. So that's normal, but for the projects, they use CodePen. So that's why I'm here at CodePen building out this tribute page. So yeah, that's probably a much longer answer than you wanted, but that's what's been going down for the last 195 days. Good times, right? So that was for what languages do you primarily write in. Still learning. Mostly JavaScript, HTML, CSS. Wait, it changes tags for you, but doesn't autocomplete tags? That's a bummer. It does have an autocomplete. You can do quite a bit, actually, with their settings here in CodePen. They do have an, oh, frack. Maybe I'm imagining things. I could have sworn they had an autocomplete tag somewhere. I think I'm just crazy and probably not the guy to ask. But yeah. Lol, accidental. Control-C. Yes, exactly. Unintended copying. How old are you, if you don't mind asking? 26? Yes, 26. Coming up on 27 next month, though. So yeah, good times. 26, and what has inspired you to self-teach coding? Sort of just, I guess, the opportunity and interest. yet another long story. We covered the whole journey, the last 150, 90 day, 95 day nightmare of what I've been going down. But I wanted to stream. I wanted to do Twitch or stream on Twitch in general. I got a capture card, an Elgato HD60S, but I'm rocking an old Mac Mini, and it can't handle. It's not up to par. Doesn't meet the minimum specs needed to utilize the H60S capture card. So the only thing my computer can basically handle is me streaming Code Academy or running a code editor. This is maxed out. When I'm just streaming me struggling to copy and paste, it's the fans going and it's sounds like a Black Hawk helicopter trying to take off. So it's bad times. She's a workhorse, my old Mac Mini, but she's made it this far. So yeah, it's just trying to stream daily, and I figured if I was going to stream daily and I can't stream gaming yet, then I might as well stream me learning how to code. So it was something I wanted to do, and I just kind of committed to it. So yeah. How many hours a day are you dedicating to this? It varies. Some days it's just 20 minutes. I mean, the shortest stream I have is usually about 20 minutes, but usually it's about an hour each day, maybe an hour and a half. How long has this stream been? Usually, like, the project streams, like, okay, so it's been an hour and 11 minutes and 41 seconds as of right now. At least that's what OBS is telling me. So, yeah, it varies. I mean, I'd say usually, most days is like 45, 50-ish minutes to an hour and 10 minutes or so. Some days I'll stream for like 3.5 hours. That's kind of a rarity. Or 2. But yeah, it really depends on the activity that I'm working on. Again, some are really quick, and it's a 30-minute stream. Some are long, and I usually get confused, and then it'll turn into some 2-hour nightmare. How many hours? Sorry for all the questions. Not a problem, Corrupt File. That is totally cool. Questions are welcome. Questions are good, because otherwise, if there aren't questions, then it's just me sucking at programming for an hour and 11 minutes straight in silence. You know what? Not in silence, no. Well, it's silence in the chat. It's me yammering to myself in confusion for an hour and 10 minutes. But yeah, you just turned 28. Very cool. Good times. I'm currently putting in about 8 to 10 hours a day to fast-track the front-end full stack to an intermediate skill set. I can highly suggest using Team Treehouse. It has been great. Treehouse is actually the next site that has, I'm assuming, activities like freeCodeCamp and Code Academy, things that I can like do, a course to follow. Treehouse is at least the next large organization or website that I wanted to check out that's got a pretty good reputation. Another one that someone else recommended was Project Odin, and it was kind of aimed at if you are learning how to program, like what programs to learn and in what order, and kind of what languages to focus on and when to start mixing in other ones and kind of how to grow from there. But yeah. Also, I ended up streaming. The reason why I'm doing smaller time frames, I am down to throw 8, 10, 12, 14 hours a day, whatever it is, at learning how to code. I'm no stranger to sitting down for extended gaming sessions. 10, 8, 12 hours of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild or anything like that, or if a new game comes out and you just binge and commit to it for, you know, holiday weekend, 2-3 days on end of 10-hour gaming sessions. So I'd be down to do coding for 5-6 hours daily for months on end to fast track it. But the difference, the reason why I wanted to do like 30-minute or 45-minute increments, which time frame wise worked out well at Code Academy, was doing the individual lessons for any language. Like they break it into sections, but then they also break them into subsections. I'd try to do like 1 or 2 activities, and it would take about, 30 minutes to an hour to do 1 or 2. And that seemed repeatable for like anyone, because I don't know, there's still a lot. This is a very nebulous thing. I don't have a lot of people, when they start learning how to program, they commit to a path or a language. I'm just kind of doing it trial by fire, flowing along with whatever the path turns into. So I don't have a set goal. Like when I started Code Academy at day 1, and it went to like day 150 something until I actually completed everything they initially had offered. I was just trying to do complete at least 1 activity a day, sometimes 2, or a section, and then I would just be done, because that seemed reasonable. If someone were to try to learn or commit to coding on a small scale but really dedicated, how long would it take? And that's basically what I did. That way they could see, because they say, oh, just code a little bit every day and you'll learn how to do it, but not everyone has 8 to 10 hours a day to fast track, to dedicate to that. Some people, if they end up in a situation due to work or whatever, or not having a job, they may be able to throw that time into it, especially if they aren't trying to stream every hour of it. But yeah, that was the other thing, is I haven't done any coding off stream. Everything I've learned coding wise, at least during this period, has been cataloged on stream. So that's another interesting tidbit. It's a weird scenario that I've set up for myself, but yeah, good times. I also wanted to see how far someone could get within a year of coding, just kind of not floating through it, but not necessarily having some diehard goal. Anywho, enough of me yammering about that particular question. I apologize for my lengthy answers. Okay, something about Treehouse, been great, good. I know intermediate Java database development, but only recently started working towards JavaScript full stack in order to get an entry-level job. File 105, Treehouse is clear, easy to follow, but does not have you repeating a lot of stuff. It does push you forward. If you can do 6 hours a day, you can be full stack in 2 months or less at an intermediate entry level through Treehouse. Treehouse is like Code Academy, but it gets deeper into the knowledge and includes great instructor videos. That's cool. Do you want to get a job in the field or just be a hobby coder? Combination of both, I guess. I wouldn't mind if it leads to a job, but in the meantime, for why I started streaming learning how to code, it was just something for me to do daily, since I couldn't use my capture card to stream me gaming daily. So yeah. Hi, I wish programming was easy. Too bad it's way too confusing. No, Ragnarok. That's exactly why I'm doing this. Anyone can learn to code. And that's why I was doing the 30-minute stream, or just going through. And that's the thing, even though it took me 30 minutes to an hour to go through a section, that's me thinking out loud, stumbling through, reading chat. The difference, it's not so much that everyone, I think everyone could learn to code. I just don't know if everyone is interested in that. Most people enjoy listening to music, but there are some people who just find music is like a thing that happens in the background. It's on the radio in your car. They don't live for going to live concerts or anything like that. Or some people who go to the movies just because it's a thing you do on a Friday night. You know, they aren't like, I've got to follow this franchise. It's, you know, they live and breathe for Star Wars or the Marvel franchise or the, what is it, AFM, American Film Movie something, American Movie, AMF, American Movie Foundation, like all the top classics. Like, you know, there's a difference between those really committed, I will call them activities, if you will, that you can commit to, and like, computer programming, it's an interesting hobby. I could see it kind of like, I love electronics. I got my fun speakers and all my gadgets and stuff and gaming consoles. I have the capacity to do IT work, but I don't really want to fix like computers or laptops. I love using them. I like having awesome up-to-date gadgets. I understand how they work, the performance aspects and benefits and all that, but like the drive to fix them and have a deeper understanding of the gadgets just isn't really there. So it's definitely beneficial. Again, another long-winded answer. It's far easier to learn programming if you're really willing to commit and dive deep, because the topics are so vast. There's so much to learn in even any one language that it's a lot easier to learn if you fully commit to it. It's not really something you can kind of just dabble with, which makes the field, or the fee to enter, definitely higher than most activities. That's my 2 cents on that. Okay, so what are we doing? Job, hi, programming was easy, too bad, way too confusing. I asked the question, I like the long answers, it's fine. Ragnarok, you just have to find a nice track in your personal way of learning. I tried many times and couldn't even figure it out, so I gave up. It's not for everyone. It's true, baby steps and then practicing the little things you learn is the way to approach it. It's hard to see the big picture of why I'm working on arrays when I don't even know how to apply it to a personal project. This happens often. Tracks are the way to go if you really want to learn a language and just pick a site that teaches that stack or whatever the language you want is. The best thing I would say is start with HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and learn some frameworks to be full stack. Maybe after that, some Python and Ruby and so on. Ragnarok, someone needs to make programming easy. Sadly, I don't see anyone ever doing that. A lot of people try to self-teach Java because it's a hot language and it's so complex, really takes a lot of logic knowledge. The languages are getting much easier and easier. It's still way too confusing. Okay, so this is perfect, because it's the one thing, especially that Code Academy, I don't know if you already tried Code Academy, and if it's still too confusing, totally fine. But the way I've equated it, because now I've gone through a couple sites, Code Academy, Code Wars, freeCodeCamp, and now I'm using CodePen, which doesn't necessarily have activities. They do have other user projects that you can look at, kind of mimic, break down, create your own. But that alone is very different than just like a course that you follow. Code Academy has a bunch of quirks. It's definitely not the site where you will master coding. It doesn't add much more beyond the first step or square one for the knowledge path. However, the way I'd like to explain what CodeCamp is good at is basically this. CodeCamp teaches you essentially how to read in the coding environment. There are a lot of things like, let's do, what was it? JavaScript, JS, for loop. The thing that I found difficult is there are so many sites that teach you and have examples, and just like, hey, this is how it works. See this right here? yeah, loops are handy if you want to run the same code over and over. Like, conceptually, you can see it. This is what it looks like and what it does. The issue is that if this is your first day, you don't know what this part means, and all of this description is noise. Like, that's great that it's really straightforward and you can kind of see the benefit of using that thing or doing what it tells you, but that's not the same as breaking down the in-between steps. What the hell var is and for, and like, there's still that assumption even in this basic stuff here. They don't tell you what the hell text is. You know what text is, but they don't tell you what the plus or equals is in this example. And this is about as basic as it gets. That's what Code does. Code breaks down what the hell you're actually looking at. It is a great... It doesn't take you from... It does take you from that first square 0, square 1, into the next step. It's that momentum between the two. Code fills that space between starting at 0 and getting to 1. It builds that momentum and understanding. I would recommend Code if you've struggled everywhere else. Because freeCodeCamp just throws you into the fire. Oh, just start typing these things and opening and closing tags and you'll figure it out. It's kind of rough. Code Wars is meant only for the brave and bold. It is getting increasingly difficult, and I'm in the very early stages, down at level 7. Holy hell. Yeah. And CodePen, that's just if you're ready to make things. And I'm only here at CodePen because freeCodeCamp told me to be here. So it's a beast. It's brutal. A lot of people try to self-teach blah, 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 blah. Languages, way too confusing. Easy is a relative term. What you think, Topher, easy is a relative term. What you think is easy may not be so easy for someone else. Eventually, it will become closer to English, and that will help people get into it. But there are limitations to less complex languages, and don't think it will truly change. Not going to keep trying something that I can't figure out at all. Every programming language is generally the same. Its syntax may be different, but beyond that, the concepts are the same. Once you understand programming fundamentals, learning a new language becomes just a matter of learning new syntax. Totally. And that was something, that was one of the main things that stood out from Code even though I did 37 languages, whatever it was like 16 different languages, which probably isn't recommended learning, but I got that perspective from doing all the different courses at Code and it was good times. So, anywho, let's do this. That was a long tangent. You poor viewers. Dear God. You guys are really sticking it out. Let's try and let's reward you guys with progress, shall we? We'll remove this. All we need to do is finish this list, and we're basically done. We're going to change the as far as styling, we're just changing it to day 9 yellow, which is this. And I'm drawing a blank. We'll Google it, but we'll find the exact code. The hex code. And do that. He qualified, blah, blah, blah. And we're cutting, and we're pasting. In 2011, blankety, blankety, blank. And we're cutting, and we're pasting. Cool. And the last one we can do list, followed by list, closing. Look at that. Hot damn. We can do unordered list. Oh, that's not pretty. And then li. Does that do anything? That's not doing anything for anyone. Is there a difference? No. Something. I just feel like the bullet points are like super far. You know what? This is the link thing all over again. We're gonna have to put the ordered list inside a paragraph. Unbelievable. Let's spread this out a bit. That way we can highlight a little more easily. We will do... You know what? They've got a cool... Is it here? A tidy function where it like shimmies everything. At least I think they do. Paragraph. Watch this. Closing paragraph. Pachow. No, that actually didn't change anything. Typical. Well, it's not that we made it worse. Let's look. They have some fork thing. I don't know. We're looking at the fork. Oh, God. It didn't save our code. It did save our code. Let's just hit the save button a couple more times. All right. Let's do UL. Tab, comma, UL. That is not pretty. That is not what we want at all. LI. No, all of that's bad. Just leave it. Leave it be. You know what? It's probably a margins thing, just like the photo, and you know what? This is good enough. It is. It's good enough for our basic day... What is it? 195 first kind of official project here at freeCodeCamp. It's meant to be sucky, you know? We aren't supposed to build some truly magnificent thing. It just needs to be tolerable at best, which this is what it is. We've got Day 9 and Manfred and everything we'll ever need. Topher, center the image. Oh, is the image not center? You're right. I need to center the... Oh, the image isn't centered, so it looks like everything is off. Oh, Topher, you are so handy. Because look, we had this over, so I thought it was filling the whole screen. And all of this seemed relatively centered. Crazy Steven. You forgetful son of a... let's do... image? Well, that didn't help anybody. Maybe we can do... You know, we were looking for that earlier, before we ended up on some crazy tangent about why I'm doing all of this stuff. One, we've got like 87 tabs open. Can we deal with this for a moment? Let's close out of that. Close out of this. We'll leave the Twitch page open. We can close out of Narwhal's fan page. We can... References, external links, blah, 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 blah. Day 9 TV, blankety blank, After Hours, Magic the Gathering, Game Designer, some other fun stuff, official website. Yeah, we're good. Closing that, closing this, and that. We will be on the hunt for new things, which is the new thing we are on the hunt for is the image center. And before we do that, let's go with what's happening in the chat. Center the image, maybe. Yes, we will do that. At Topher Gates, what languages do you primarily write in other than PHP and JavaScript? How has your career been without a degree in CS? My career is great, but it's not in web development. So more of a hobbyist? Still impressive to be working PHP since 2005. I'm diving in at 28, a little late to the game, but it's been fun so far. True dat, same here. I'm in the same boat, kind of. I'm in a slower boat. I've written in a lot of languages, from Java to in C++ to PHP and JavaScript. I'm a big fan of JavaScript, though, so that's where I'm most comfortable. After Java, everything has felt more natural for me. Yeah, I do web dev as a hobby, sometimes as a consultant. Very cool. Create a class thing. Oh, create a class for image and then style that. Aha, very clever. PHP is better these days than it used to be. Much faster and actually object-oriented, so there's no better time to learn than now. I still prefer Node.js, though. Image, class image, source, image link, alt, blah, 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 and so forth. Good suggestion. Then in your css.image, yes, good. I think that is a solid path and a plan of action that we will pursue. So we are classing class equals, oh, they're super pissed. Look at that. Class equals, that was not helpful. There we go. Class. There we go. Should we do image forward or just imaged? I feel like we should kind of differentiate it. Let's do image. That way there's no confusion. And then down in CSS, since it's a class, we get to drop down a line and do dot image followed by bd. Let's do, is it still text align? I don't think it's text align. You know what? I think it's image align. Is that right? Center? No. Just align. Text align? CSS, image, center. I know it's there. I'm just missing something. It's right here. At least for one other thing I've noticed as far as progress for myself over the last 195 days is at least we're not going back for every single reference. There were plenty of things in Code Wars where we wouldn't go Google the answer. We'd go to Code Academy and try to find the lesson that was related to that, which isn't necessarily terrible, but probably far less efficient. So yeah, that's that. It's the block margin. It was margin. Bastards. Margin auto and width 50%. Now center aligning. Okay. Fine. Typical. It was margin. Bastards. Always confused. Smiley, align. Oh, or align middle. What's happening in chat? Oh, align middle. Okay, yeah, okay, hold on. We skipped some things. Then you CSS call class image, blah, blah, blah. Let me jump back. In your class.image, Topher Gates Node.js is trending. I really think that and React is today's winners for JS. Image day 9 for name. Well, we'll stick with image the full. Topher, yeah, I do enjoy React. Not sure how long it will stick around, but it is fun. Corrupt, in your HTML, you can just add a line equals center after your alt attribute. Yeah, I should have done that. Oh, sorry, align middle, I think. Yes, align middle. It's late. It is late. I'm actually surprised I'm not passed out right now. Usually we get wildly delirious and exponentially delirious the later and later after midnight. But 1:40 and we're going. I wouldn't say we're going strong, but we're still floating along. We are so close to the end, too. It's late. Should keep style separated from structure, though. I do like that and agree. True, just quick fix. First suggestion, less lazy approach. Is he familiar with display, values, flex, and grid? Not quite. Grid for CSS? Like the columns and stuff, like column, medium, and the values, like 6 to 12, or, whatever it is, 4 to 12. Essence, I enjoy... Oh, God, yes, cropped. I don't think so. Topher, I enjoy watching BDX struggle with CSS. Makes me feel like he's sharing in the struggle with all other web developers on the planet. Coffee stops at 8 p.m. for me, and coding stops by midnight, otherwise too many mistakes. That's where the gold of this stream really excels. is rushing to get the day's stream started before the stroke of midnight. It's basically Cinderella. Start the stream before midnight. We come rushing in at like 11:57, starting the stream, more often than not. And then from there, it's just bad decisions for programming. Yeah. This is really a year of learning how not to code. Yes, this is the year of streaming and learning how not to code. This is the bad way of doing this. Both of those properties making layouts and aligning elements really nice compared to the old ways. Also, there's a bit different type of grid, more flexible than that. CSS Tricks has good pages on both of these. Aha. Well, I will keep an eye out for those cool and handy tips and tricks. But in the meantime, I think we're going to do, what was it? It was align? No. Margin. I think margin was what we were going to go with. Or width, but margin. Margin. Auto. Did that do anything? I don't feel any different. You know what? It sounds ridiculous, but the other thing, as I look for things, and as I try them, this is ridiculous. It feels like beginner wizard or witch, like trying to read the spell books you always see in movies around magic. The kid or young, we'll call them person, trying to figure out and learn how to read and pronounce whatever given spell to do something, and it's turning wrong. Like, I feel like I'm going through all of these reference sources, trying to replicate it myself, and it just falls apart. Very Sorcerer's Apprentice. That's what I feel like. And it's bad times. Entertaining, I'm sure. Well, I'd hope. But that's what it feels like. Okay, so image, margin, auto, flexible. Centering an image should be easy enough without flexbox and grid, though. CSS Tricks Almanac is your BFF. Just remember that always. Gotcha. BFFs are good. Topher Gates, very true. Yeah. Well, for for a class 1 programmer. Not as easy as one would think as we inch closer to 2 in the morning, second by second. We had it right here. No, it was this. Center an image. Oh my god, do I need all of that? I don't need all of that. I'm going to do width 50% and margin auto. To horizontally center a block element like div, use margin. Setting the width of an element, prevent it from stretching. Don't they have image anywhere? Why does it have to be a div? Oh, we can put it in a div. We can put it in a div. I don't care if that's the answer or not. I'm going to put the image in a div. Time to get divvy. Okay. Yes, the insanity is really starting to flow. Beautiful. This is where it's all going to start to fall apart. Ah, it's working. Beautiful. Actually, what the deuce happened? Why did it shimmy from here? Why is it centered? No, something's happening where it's moving. I'm going to keep doing div things anyways. Div. And we'll give the div the class of image. Class equals image. Oh god. I can feel my brain working. It smells like bacon. This is awful. Close the div tag. Okay. This is good. Just pretend everything's fine. No, class image width. Let's try width 50%. Width 50%? Oh, that didn't work at all. Bad Steven. Okay. Thank God I wasn't working on the early teams for NASA trying to send people to the moon. I would be the guy who would be coordinating the launch trajectory, and I was the first guy they hired. And we missed. I don't think the rocket even would have gotten off the pad. They would have ended up in Utah in a fiery crash if they had me planning the trajectory. No bueno. So we're gonna back up a step or two and reassess our life choices. Before that, let's just check out one or two other things we have. Paragraph is centered vertically. Something about a div class container. That's promising. Centered. Horizontally centered. Yellow. Class container 4. Paragraph centered. Those fuckers. We want our image centered. Why can't they just have a picture? Even the cavemen used pictures to explain things. Why the hell in 2017 can't they have a friggin' photo? Box photo center bit. That's what I want. What's happening in the chat? Death. Very true. Okay. Corrupt. I do love supporting the coding community on Twitch. Here, there are other live stream sites where it's typical coders flexing their brains and trying to bully around others. So far, yeah, we haven't even made it that far down the path. It's been 195 days in the kiddie pool of the programming world. That's where I've been hanging. So far, we've met very nice people here with little to no direct backseat coding. Lightbulb, lol, that face, haha. Okay, put everything in a div. Oh, I should put everything in a div. Yeah. Damn. Okay. Good recommendation. Sup, I'm Jason. Well, also welcome and hey, Topher. I remember my first div. Topher. Okay. Always poking feel like we're at the zoo. We're not even looking at the cool animals. This is the animals they like keeping back. These are the animals at the zoo, the ones that they allow you to feed. There's like the little 50-cent food disposal thing, and you can feed them, like the tiny deers or like meerkats or whatever. That's the part of the zoo that they would keep me at. The non-threatening, ridiculous animals. This is frustrating. It's okay. It's okay. Corrupt. Was it in the bed? No backseat. Was it in the backseat of a 19.9 heater? Jesus. Remove the class from image. Okay, we will do that. Jason says remove the class. Wait, remove the class. Remove the class from image. You're right. I forgot to clear that out. It worked. Sup, I'm Jason. You're right. He saved. Why is it so far over? Is it the width thing again? Let's get rid of the width. No? We're back to being confused. Maybe it's the width thing. Remove the class thing from image. I tried putting my first div in a header. Oh, 1999 header. I tried putting my first div in a header, and it didn't feel good until Susie Q showed me her body. Corrupt. Alright. I personally enjoy putting my div in main. Sorry, I'm still drunk from Friday. Margin 0 auto. Okay, margin 0 auto. I want to believe you. So, sup, I'm Jason solved the image issue. Now we've got the class bit. Let's do width again. I don't know why, but just to see width. Can I do width auto? That also sounds dumb and noobish. Yep, nope. What a terrible idea. 50%. That's not. There's no way in hell that's 50%. Look at this. In what universe is that 50%? What if I get rid of margin? No, and now that's just 50%. Typical. Okay. You know what? We're gonna do it. We haven't had to do it. We mentioned that we haven't gone back, but I'm going to. We're going back to Code Academy. I don't care. We're going to do it. HTML and CSS. This is what Code Academy is always there for us. Element positioning in class IDs. Ta-da! D. CSS positioning. Time to get centered. Believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, we will find a way to succeed. Now, they've got something, image, blah, blah, blah. Look at that. CSS, border 1 dash, fuckers. Let's do taking up inline, margins, borders, and padding. It'll probably be towards the end. But we have a blocky thing. Cool, and that's centered. Body and div. Div, height, width, border radius, auto. Wait, really? It's just div? Oh, because there's no class. Well, what if I get rid of the class and just do div? Would that be wrong? I don't think that would be inherently wrong. Set it out. Set our div's margin property to auto to center our div. It should be margin auto. It should be. We're going to do div and margin auto. I don't care. I don't care at all. margin auto. Maybe. And we're getting rid of class. Not that we ever had class to give away from. We're getting there. We'll find it. We will find it. Save and submit. Next lesson. Yeah, beautiful. Isn't there a photo involved somewhere? You know what? They have a whole CSS course. That's what we should have been in, is the CSS course. We're actually going to do that. We're going to go to the CSS course instead. Catalog. Expand. There was SAS. The CSS course is just plain bad and outdated, but I guess it teaches something. Yeah, well, that was their HTML and CSS course. They actually used to, I'm just now realizing, they got rid of their CSS course. Catalog. Like, SAS is good. Why is there a lack of opening link in new tab? And responsive design. Making a website. Okay, here we go. That goes for Zartuo, though that goes for 95% of code. That is true. It's just wildly questionable, but style sheets, mixins, no, none of this is what we wanted. They got rid of their actual CSS. Thing. Building with Bootstrap. Boundaries in space. Or site structure. It's one of those two. Site structure. I know, we're making it 1,000 times harder than necessary, but keeping it display with flex. See, there was flex. There was flexing. Please load website. God, we've got 80. Look at their photos are in line. What are they doing? Okay, they've got an image and a class, and it's in a div, and it's got stuff going on. So we're going to do exactly that. The hell am I looking for? Something involving a thing. We found it. Oh, right. Issues. True. Corrupt file on. Off to bed. Have a good night, all. Good luck, BDX saying. Good night to you, corrupt file. And thank you for hanging out with us. Yeah, good times. Hopefully we'll see you around again. Well, we've found the source. We've made it. Okay, so footer navigation. Look at that. Pretty cool. And now we are looking for index file. We've got our header for things, and then we've got our div of gallery. And our figure is a class gallery item, and then the image has class thumbnail, and then it rinse and repeat for all the images. So when we make it full screen, ta-da, look at that. Very cool. So main, and we're looking at stuff. Creates copy pasta. I know. I should. But this is the bad part. I don't know what to copy. That's sad. Okay. not even smart enough to successfully copy pasta anything. Let's clear out all. There's a lot going on here. We got 87 tabs of how to find absolutely nothing. The other thing is we could look at their info, but they said to only look if you really need it. And I don't feel like I'm quite there yet. Actually, I think I passed that probably about 45 minutes ago, but that's okay. That is okay. I just really want to figure out this div thing. Not the div thing. The centering of the image, which may involve a div. We're going to copy their CSS. Body stuff, not important. Gallery. So gallery was margin top, display flex, wrap, justify content center. Gallery items have a margin of 20 pixels. Thumbnails have a border as well of 5 pixels. That's the footer navigation. So I think justify content center. Let's try that one. That example is using flex. How to center, Google how to center div. How to center a div. Possibly. Oh, look, we already clicked on that link. We were here already, and we tried using div margin auto. Did I enter it wrong? To horizontally center a block element, like div, use margin auto. Setting the width of the element will prevent it from stretching outside the edges of the container. The element will then take up the specified width and the remaining space will be split equally between the two margins. Center aligning has no effect if the width property... Note. Center aligning has no effect if the width property is not set or set to 100. I was wondering if it was the 50% thing that was thrown off. So we do need both, and it's the 50% that was haunting us, and it needs to be at 100. Oh, damn. Damn it all. Soulless mother... Ball cock. God. Happy thoughts, Stephen. Happy thoughts. We are adding width. This is why it was moving every time we would add width. So frustrating. Now, we're going to set it at 50 first. Watch. 50, and it moves all the way God knows over to wherever. But is that really centered? That can't be centered. That does not feel centered to anyone. Change view. You know what? I'm going to change it and move to the top. There. Does that look centered to them? I think not. JavaScript, well, let's move that. And we'll move this. And we'll shimmy this down a little. No, not back. Autosave enabled? I hope. Autosave, our goal on autosave is enabled after you save once. Autosave is on a timer, thank God. It was like, I just hit back and we lost all of that. Did we lose anything? I don't think we did. We lost the div. We really gotta hit save more often. Bad Steven. Holy hell, I'm jumping around. Look, we're saving. We hit save like 12 times just then. Everything hurts. We've reached the point of no return. So where's 50% put us? You know what? Is it the photo that's off? Is there more to it? Okay, no. I was curious if there was the photo, but if there was like white space, and if that's why it seemed off center, if there was like a white border area over to the left or right that made it seem askew. Damn. Everything is awful. That's how I feel about this. Let's do we had parent, display class parent. I'm going to try justify content center. Just for shits and giggles. We've made it this far down the rabbit hole. Might as well keep going, right? I don't know if we should keep that. Justify. But I think it is what? It's using the flex thing, and we're not set up to do flex. Justify content center. That's probably going to piss people off. Yep. Nope. Super awful. Width 50%. 100. Nope. Margin. Shot in the dark, man. Shot in the dark. Terrible. Auto. $50. What about 40? 30. Keeps moving. 60. 66. I can live with that. We're gonna leave it at 66%. There's something about it that it's weird. We're gonna leave it at 66%. Oddly enough. The next bit from there, holy hell, I literally forget what we're doing after all of this. We were setting up our page, we're making it centered. Here's a timeline of blah, blah, blah. We've got the link, we need to style it. We need to find the hex code and color that is day 9 yellow. It is a Googleable thing. And we will do that. So change view, left side. Don't mind the off center. Oh no, why? We're gonna hit save. Everything hurts. Everything hurts. Everything should be in a div. Everything should be in a div. Trying to come to terms if I want to put everything in a div. I don't think I want to do that. That sounds like a lot of work at 2:09 in the morning. Ugh. Who is programming at 2:09 in the morning? Topher. Try doing this. Image. Display block, oh, wait, display block, semicolon, margin, 0, auto. Okay, okay. Display, image. Yeah, we're gonna get rid of the div. We're gonna get rid of the div. Cool. Display block. I vaguely remember doing display block at some point. Oh my god. Look at that. I bet I can get rid of width. And I still... 0. Auto. Something. It is. Change view. Top view. Oh, look at that. Oh my god, it works. Now, does the 0 auto... Let's cut and paste and 0. I'm sure 0 does something helpful, but I mean, it doesn't make it worse. It does work without the 0, at least I think. I don't know. Let's change our view. Look at that. Oh my god, it works. I can feel all the weight and stress and pressure gone after being confused for so long. Topher saves the day yet again. No, not settings. I keep missing change view when I've got that window open. Okay, there we go. All we need to do is 0 is the top and bottom margin. Change this to 2 rem, for example, to see what happens. Okay. Agreed. 2 rem. Aha! It moves it. Ah, look at that. Look at that. 4. Look at us. Dance, image, dance. Bow to my powers. They're mainly guided via Topher, but still powers nonetheless. Okay. Kick it down a notch, Steven. It's after 2. Not that impressive. Let's go ahead and do 3. That's a good weight. I did like 2. Let's check 1. 0. Kind of weird. 2 versus 3. Tough call. We'll go with 2. We will go with 2. We'll keep that. Okay. Good suggestion. And look, we're saving. Good times. All we need now is let's close and close and close and close and close. Day 9 yellow. D FFA 71A. I believe that is what we are looking for. And we get to go over here. Color. Text. H1, blah, blah, blah. We want all of those. No, we don't want our paragraph. That's okay. No, it's not okay. It's not okay. Because oh, we get to use an ID. I've never had to use an ID on my own before. This is cool. Okay, so we will make paragraph, blah, 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 yellow, but we're going to have our unordered list not yellow. Watch this. Watch this. Okay. After 45 minutes of struggling on how to figure out how to center a basic image, which is sad, but that's my life. Let's go ahead and try to do something useful. So, what were we doing? Color. Text color? Just color. F something something or other. FFA71A. We're not going to remember that, but that's all right, because we're actually going to try red in the meantime. It works. Question, why is this not changing? Oh, because it's already its own separate element. If we were to add text, that would be red. Damn, I didn't even get to use my ID in CSS. Well, that sucks. I really thought we were going to be... I mean, we could still set up an ID and be all clever and do our, you know, our hash things for whatever, but instead we'll just, you know, be sad. Whatever. Anywho, we will ID later successfully in the future, but our unordered list already solves all our problems. So, we don't want red. We need proper team colors celebrating all that is day 9, which is, can we remember it? FF71A7. We forgot the hashtag. Or the hash. Oh, that's super pink. There should be... Oh, it was A's. FFA71A. FFA71A. And then we will be finished. FFA 71A. Oh, wow, we zoomed in. Oh god, bad Steven. Bad Steven. Is that really day 9 yellow? It looks... Yeah, no, that is day 9 yellow. I think. Pretty sure it is. It's... Yep, day 9 yellow. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, cool. So, exit. Beautiful, beautiful. I think we are done. We are done. Although we're gonna do day 9 in all of his glory. Ta-da! Dee-dee-dee. Way cool. Way cool. Let's close out of that. We can close out of this. Awesome. Awesome. We finally made it to the end. We actually succeeded. Let's go ahead and save all of the goodness that is this pen. For CodePen, we can now do... I've completed this challenge. It only took us, dear God, 2 hours and 19 minutes and 27 seconds to stumble through this incredibly basic journey that we've managed to drag on infinitely. So, good times. Let's go ahead and do I've completed this, and where do we submit our link? CodePen, copy. Look at that. Look at this. Yeah. Submit and go to my next challenge. I can't believe we did it finally, and it really was a team effort. A huge hat tip to everyone who helped out. Let's close out of this. We'll close out of that. Our profile. Thank you again to everyone who helped out. Wow, we had a lot of people. Topher, of course, thank you so much. Corrupt File 105, thank you for stopping by. He's come and gone, but he assisted. Ragnarok, thank you for stopping by as well. We had, who else did we have? Skim through chat. Zartuo. Thank you for also hanging out with us. And Yum, one of those. And Sup, I'm Jason. Yeah, I think that's everyone who chatted in the chat. And anyone else who assisted with guiding me through tonight's labyrinth of hell. Let's go ahead and close out of that eventually. Also, thank you to anyone who may have stumbled in here to view the stream. Any and all views are greatly appreciated. We are backing out of freeCodeCamp and CodePen, diving into OBS. The adventure continues tomorrow with day 196 of the year of streaming and learning to code, but in the meantime, we are stopping the stream in victory. Are you sure you want to stop the stream? Hell yeah. Kill it!